Welcome to How to Plant-Based, where we show you how to use and create plant-based basics. Today is episode 2, where we show you how to make the softest and fluffiest pancakes from scratch, because we don't need these flimsy little saucers anymore. We're going to start by making a vegan buttermilk. To do that, we're going to add an acid. In this case, I'm using apple cider vinegar to a non-dairy milk. You could also use white vinegar or lemon juice. Then let this mixture sit for about 10 minutes. The acid will help the non-dairy milk curdle and give a similar tangy flavor profile that you'd find with traditional buttermilk. The next thing we're going to do is make a flax egg. This is going to replace traditional eggs in our pancake recipe. All you have to do is combine ground flaxseed with water and let this sit for 10 minutes. What happens is the mixture will thicken and become gelatinous to mimic chicken eggs. You can also do this with chia seeds as well, and if you don't have any of that on hand, you can replace this with applesauce or a non-dairy yogurt, about 1/4 cup per egg that you are replacing, in this case just one. Now you're going to want to grab a bowl and let's get started with our dry ingredients. Similar to our bread video, measuring flour is one of the most important steps to get those fluffy and airy pancakes that you're looking for. If you don't add enough flour, your batter will be too liquidy and your pancakes thin. If you add too much flour, you run the risk of your batter being too thick and the outside burning before the inside is properly cooked through. We're also going to be adding some vegan cane sugar, salt, and baking powder. It may seem like a lot of baking powder for the amount of flour that we're using. However, the baking powder reacts while cooking to give you those super fluffy pancakes. Grab your whisk and we're going to mix together our dry ingredients really well. Making sure to distribute all the ingredients well and break up any clumps will also help with that fluffiness you're looking for in your pancakes. If you're new to baking, a surefire way to do this properly is to sift all of your ingredients together. Now into a separate bowl, you're going to add your buttermilk and flax egg mixture once they are ready, along with some vanilla and a neutral oil. Stir this together, and what you'll want to do now is add your dry ingredients to the wet ingredients with a spatula. But we're going to do this in 3 parts and mix just until combined with each one. Adding a little bit at a time helps to make sure that you don't overmix, since you are able to see it more clearly. Making sure not to overmix is going to be the single most important step that you do in making sure that you have those soft, fluffy, airy pancakes every single time. You may be tempted to keep stirring until smooth, but these lumpy bits that you see in your batter will actually help the rise, so make sure you're not overmixing. Once you do finally have everything together, you're going to let it sit for 5 minutes. This allows for 2 things to happen. 1, the baking powder and vinegars to start reacting together to create more fluffy pancakes, and then 2, the flour is able to get hydrated, which will especially help for any little dry batter that you may have missed. You're going to want to start out with your skillet on medium-low heat. If your temp is too high, you're going to start to burn the outside before you fully cook the inside. Once warmed, add in some vegan butter, really just a tiny bit, and make sure it's spread all around, and then let that melt. Add your batter, about 1/3 to 1/2 cup depending on your desired size, and cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. Avoid touching your pancakes too much at this point. You can round your edges a bit if desired, but the more you keep touching it, the more you'll break up those air pockets that have formed and you risk flattening your pancakes. If you do want to add in any mix-ins like blueberries or chocolate chips, I'd recommend adding them here before you flip. Bubbles are going to start forming in your pancakes, and then you can flip and cook on the other side. Your second side won't need as long to cook, just about 1 to 2 minutes. If you aren't sure if your pancake is ready by looking at the bubbles, you can gently look under and see if it's golden brown already, and then flip. You'll continue this process until no more pancake batter remains. This recipe will make about 5 pancakes, so if you have a large family, you can double or even triple this recipe if needed. Top with your favorite toppings, and then you're going to serve. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you make these, send us a picture so we can see how you top them. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next episode. These are so soft, so fluffy, and I'm not saying that you should eat the entire stack, but I also wouldn't judge you if you did.